Hello fellow YouTubers who have found this amazing video. Today we are debating the top 10 Legend of Zelda items. And before I get started, I've only played Legend of Zelda, Link to the Past, Ocarina of Time, Majora's Mask, Wind Waker, Twilight Princess, and a smidge little bit of Minish Cap because I just couldn't get into that. So don't expect items from other games. Sorry, Skyward Sword and all the other crap, but it's not gonna work out. Feel free to comment your opinion so I can tell you how wrong you are about it. Jumping right in, number 10 is the Dominion Rod from Twilight Princess, or if you would prefer, it's basically the same thing, the Command Melody from Wind Waker. I haven't played Twilight Princess in a while, but as I remember it, you go to the tower of what used to be the Temple of Time, and you're climbing up to get these statues. Ignore me if I'm completely wrong here, but you bring the statues to life using the Dominion Rod, and you manipulate them to help bring them to where they need to go. I just remember thinking it was so cool. Granted, the Command Melody did it before in Wind Waker, so it's not new. So, for number 9, I figured I needed some sort of mask at some point in this countdown, so I have the bunny hood. And this one won't take long at all to justify. It's a cool looking hat. It makes you run faster. I get very impatient in video games, especially when traveling long distances on foot. So the bunny hood helps, and that's badass. In the number 8 slot, we have the Lens of Truth from Ocarina of Time. I have a real love and hate relationship with the Lens of Truth. It's a really unique idea, and really helps add to the creepy vibe of the well, the Shadow Temple, the Spirit Temple. But it uses magic power, and by that point in the game, you had so many items that you needed equipped that now, playing through, I try to avoid even getting the Lens of Truth. Because you figure, you're going to need your bow equipped, if you're playing on the 3DS, you're going to need your hover boots equipped, your bombs equipped, your hook shot equipped, the ocarina equipped. Very cool idea, helps set the atmosphere, which is cool, but it's really useless overall after you've played through the game a few times. Now, number 7, I have the Deku Leaf from Wind Waker. The Deku Leaf is in itself a really neat idea, because all it is a giant leaf that blows air. But you can also use it to float, which comes in handy quite a bit throughout the game, as I remember it. You can blow air towards switches, enemies, piles of sticks. I think that's what the game was trying to draw. Maybe it was pile poop. I don't know. Anyway, an all-around versatile item that really helped add more puzzle mystique to the game that most people hate on for its quote-unquote kiddie graphics. So, the 6th best item in the Zelda games, in my opinion, is the spinner. I remember playing Twilight Princess and getting this bad boy, and I'm just going to say, outside of its dungeon, it's pretty much useless, which, not gonna lie, excluded other items from this list. I'm looking at you Megaton Hammer, Ice Arrows, the Iron Boots, but I absolutely loved gliding around with the spinner, jumping from slot to slot, not to mention the boss you use the spinner against. And not much of Twilight Princess sticks with me, being as I played it like 6-7 years ago, but that skeleton boss battle will always stay. That's why the spinner is here, because it helps you remember. Boots that can make you hover. How does an item get cooler than that? If they would have tweaked it a bit so you wouldn't glide so frictionlessly around all the time wearing them, they'd be the coolest thing ever. Nothing like that moment when you walk right off the ledge and then you float the other side. I remember as a kid, these things would never leave my Link's feet. Might I also add the Iron Boots strictly on the premise they counteract each other in the Shadow Temple. There's the room where you have to wear the hover boots to go over the ledges, but you also have to use the Iron Boots, that way you don't fly away. But then at the same point, in the middle of the room, you want to fly away, so you have to put on the hover boots to get to the invisible ledge. The Iron Boots help you view the hover boots in a different light, so they go together like the horse and carriage, as, that old TV show would say. Next, we have the light arrows. And I debated just saying the elemental arrows overall, but to be frank, the fire arrows do nothing for me, and the ice arrows outside of the water dungeon in Majora's Mask serve absolutely no purpose. In Ocarina of Time, there is no reason to get them. Like, straight up, you can get 100% everything, minus the ice arrow, and that's fine. The light arrows are so awesome, though, especially in Wind Waker, when they basically incinerate enemies from the inside out. Granted, I hate magic power consumption, but the light arrow is worth it without a doubt. Not to mention one of the few things that can really kill Ganondorf, and in a game about killing Ganondorf, what's better than that? Then in the number 3 spot, I have the Mirror Shield. Obviously the best shield, my favorite shield. Again, as a kid, it was Mirror Shield all day, every day. This is primarily because the Hylian shield wasn't really something I used. As a kid, it was just the shield you had to have. The Kokiri shield burns. The Hylian shield is just so plain. The Mirror Shield looks amazing, and it reflects light. Ocarina of Time established it to me, but Majora's Mask made it even more interesting, having you bounce light off mirror, off mirror, off mirror, off Mirror Shield. Because yes, Link is that awesome. One of the few totally original yet awesome ideas in Legend of Zelda is number 2, which everybody knows has to show up on a video, a countdown of Legend of Zelda items. The hookshot. I know this has been very Ocarina of Time heavy, but let me add that I don't mean the Ocarina of Time variant. And I don't know why, I just think the one from Link to the Past looks so much cooler. I remember, because I played Ocarina of Time first. Like in Ocarina of Time, it's cool, it just... But I remember when I got in Link to the Past when I was playing it, and it was like so awesome. It's maybe it's the dungeon it's in. Maybe it's just me being a crazy hipster, you know. Gotta have that music taste, you know. 9 Inch Nails did it better. Sorry, Johnny Cash. I don't know, I just think it's cooler looking. It hooks on to pots and statues. Plus it looks better. It's such a simple design. Some of the other hook shots just seem to try too hard in my opinion, and I'm straight up looking at the one from Majora's Mask. Yeah. So now you're wondering, what's number 1? I know that's what you're thinking. Or maybe you're thinking, Ocarina of Time? Because I haven't put an instrument on this. Maybe you're thinking, well, technically he never said fairy bow, so it must be that. Well, I'd say you are wrong. I'm also going to say the title of this video is quite misleading, considering what my number 1 pick is. And that is Navi, Tattle, Midna, King of Red Lions, any aid you have. And I know they aren't technically an item, but they are a tool used to beat the game, and if you view strictly the fairies, you realize how much they help you. Here's how I view it. Remember like the original Legend of Zelda? When you couldn't lock onto things, you just kind of swung your sword around vigorously, hoping you hit something. Same thing in Link to the Past. Then you get to Ocarina of Time, where Navi helps you see target, and you don't even realize how much that helps you until your first fight with Ganondorf. Like the first time you fight him. I was probably somewhere between 4 and 6 years old when I did, and I didn't know what was going on when I couldn't lock on to Ganondorf. The whole game, you go and you pen. I mean, it's the button right there. You don't even mean to use it, and you use it. But you only can because of Navi. Straight up, all of those annoying moments, Navi told you about the action button, or the shadows of monsters, or if you're playing on the 3DS to stop playing because you've been playing for an hour. We get it, Navi. They're all actual points of concern. Number 1 in this video is your partner, your guide, which are now items because I say so. Anyway, if you've enjoyed the video, do all that good YouTube stuff, you know, comment, like, share, sub, or something. Please, again, comment. Tell me your opinion. This could be a very interesting video, considering I ignored all musical items in a series that has, like, what, like 4 or 5 musical items now. I also didn't pick a transformation mask. Anyway, peace out, home skillets.